Hi, I'm Rachel, a second-generation homeschooler, and today I'm going to interview my two daughters, ages 11 and 13, about their thoughts on 180 Days to Save the World, Kids Write Novels, Complete Language Arts Curriculum. Now, I have a list of questions. They are currently on Chapter 6, I believe, and I'm just going to ask them details about what they think of the program so far, any advice they have, and we'll do a quick flip through of the curriculum as well. It is important to note that they are taking the live classes once a week, which is an extra fee, but you can also purchase pre-recorded videos, which is less costly, but you don't have access to a teacher, to other students, or discussion boards that could really help you draw inspiration and find a lot of answers to your questions. So let's get into the program and the questions and see what my girls have thought of it so far. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you like homeschool content. And also, if you have questions that I didn't ask that you want more detail of, please let me know down below in the comment section, and I'm happy to answer the questions or go into more detail. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to go into a full review of our Kids Write Novels program. It's 180 Days to Save the World, and this is the middle grade novel. I have an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. They're both doing this program this year. So let's get into the interview, asking them all of the questions. And if you guys come up with any questions or any more questions you want me to ask, feel free to comment below. Okay, getting started with lesson 1. What was your first impression of Kids Write Novels? Madison, I'll ask you first. Like, what did you think it was going to be like?
I thought it was going to be very cool and exciting to be a part of a novel writing school thingy.
Program? Yeah. Okay. Kaylee, what was your first impression?
I was nervous, very nervous.
Yeah. But what did you think about the program before you started?
I was excited, really excited.
Yeah. How did you feel about being able to go through this whole program and come out with a complete novel at the end?
I thought it'd be cool to be a published author.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big goal for middle schooler. I mean, pretty big achievement for middle schoolers. So can you tell me something about your first lesson that excited you? What does it say here in your book? It says writing a middle grade novel. So it tells you about what you need to do to write a middle grade novel. So tell me anything else about your first lesson. Like, what did you have to do first?
So we had to read 5 middle grade books and like write a little summary about it, maybe to like get inspiration for our novel.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. And then what else did you do with the first lesson? Can I look through this, please? This is the second lesson, getting organized.
I think it was part of the first lesson.
It says, on the following lines, free write a fictional narrative in which you are on vacation and you get separated from your family and are completely lost. So is this like just getting you in the groove of writing or imagining? What was that about?
I think it's about like using our ideas to come up with scenarios and how to get back. Well, what it says.
Yeah, how to, let's see, you get separated from your, so how to get back. Okay. For lesson 2, how did you feel when you started brainstorming ideas for the novel? Did you work together or were you guys doing it separate?
I think I was helping her out a little bit because she needed help brainstorming. And I feel like once I got to that part, my idea for my novel just came out at the top of my head.
Yeah, what about you? Like, how did you feel when you started brainstorming ideas? Like, what were some things you came up with before you decided on what you were going to write?
Well, actually, before we started the program, I already, knew what I wanted to write about.
Yeah.
Like, this girl,
Yeah, I know the story. Okay. So you already had a story idea. And so for any of y'all, the further you got for each lesson, did it help you like figure out how you wanted your story to go?
Kinda. For me, it was more like when I started writing, I knew how my story would go.
Yeah. The outing process?
Outlining.
Oh, outlining process. So it goes over an outlining process, different outlining methods, traditional, snowflake, heroes, beat sheets. So it tells you about how to outline your novel, which is super cool, and it gives you lots of space for writing.
This
ideas
was actually
and
about
summaries.
one of our 5-book
Yeah.
middle grade things.
Okay, can you tell me something you wrote about one of the 5 books you read?
So, one of the 5 books I read was The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind.
Yes.
And I had to write a little summary about each chapter in the book
Oh, okay.
to see how he was and how he changed through the story.
Okay, cool. And then it looks like this was the end of Unit 1, because you're going to start Unit 2. And at the back it has grammar games, commonly confused words. So what were some things that helped you with this game for grammar?
I had to think about it a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. When 2 words have a similar sound or spelling, it can be easily mixed up. Write the correct word to complete each sentence. Like affect, affect, and effect, or you say effect. Apart and apart. Sight and sight. Capital, capital. Past, past. Loose and loose. So you just had to fill out the correct word in each sentence. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That's cool that it has that little game for you. So what was it like creating a main character, Kaylee?
It was hard.
Yeah. Could we go into where your main character is, where you're writing about them, so that we can read some of that?
Some of this is probably wrong because I changed stuff.
That's okay. So what does it say up here in the blue? What is it asking you to do?
List the main events of your story below. If a part does not make sense or needs more work, just jot it down and move on.
So this is a part. So what about the main character though? Remember, it asks you all these questions about your main character, right? Where's that at? Details.
Right here.
It's all.
Oh, okay. Okay, so character's full name, then the gender, and then their nickname, reasons or story behind the nickname. And that's, you put I don't know, and that's okay. What do you have, your reasons or story behind your nickname?
Because her name is hard to pronounce.
Okay. So then it asks you what about the character's appearance. So you get to pick age, eye color, hair color, glasses or contacts, how much they weigh, their body type, the shape of their face, the skin tone. And what does this say?
Distinguishing marks, scars,
Or features.
Okay, cool.
This is actually not right, but
That's okay. That's okay, honey. How does your character dress? And then favorites. List favorite things about your character. So like their favorite color and why. Favorite music and why. Their favorite foods, their least favorite foods, their favorite activities and hobbies. I can't talk. And their personality details.
I think the favorites was, well, the favorite music and the favorite food and the least favorite food was hard for me because I wanted to make up my foods for my world.
Oh, yeah, because you're in a totally different world. Then it talks about habits and morals. And then certain parts of their background. So how did you decide the personality of your character?
I think I did it a little bit based on me, kinda.
Yeah.
Like, she likes to read and she likes to leave stuff. Well, I wrote that down, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that's going to be for like one of my sidekicks.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I got some of it from Lucy
Your 7-year-old sister.
because
Okay.
she's silly.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's move into developing the story. Can you tell me about the world you created for your story? Kaylee, would you like to go first? Like, how did your lessons, like your live classes, help bring your story to life? Did they help you?
Yes.
Okay, well, how? In what ways?
I don't know.
What about you?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Sure. Tell me about the world you created, and how did the live classes, the lessons, help you bring it to life?
Okay.
I know this has been a while, so it's hard to think on it, but just your best
The
answer.
world I created is a magical world with all these cool creatures and different people and witches and wizards and that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the live classes helped me because I got ideas from the other students, especially on the discussion space.
Yeah.
Like when I was stuck.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Like, what kind of questions did you ask on the discussion board?
Like if I couldn't pick between two names for a character, I'd ask what they'd think, and whichever name had the most points, I'd do that name.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's great to be able to have that discussion board, because then you can actually have get help from other students in your class that are also in the same middle grade, so that your story still sticks to a middle grade level
Yes.
writing when it comes to writing. So when we're talking about the main character, it really wants you to go into super detail, like their family, their self-perception, relationship to others, problems and crisis. It really goes into detail and makes your children think, wow, we have to create this huge backstory for this character to develop a real character in our minds when we read this book. I think that's pretty awesome, because I think that's something that, like me, I'm not an author, so that's not something I consider when I'm thinking about writing. Like, they have to have this huge backstory to help add depth and detail to your character for your novel. That's pretty cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Story goal. So let's see, Unit 2, Section 4, answer the following questions. What does your hero want to happen at the end of the story? What did you write? Do you want to share it with us? Do you want to share yours with us?
Sure.
Okay.
It's to save her dad from the evil.
Okay, all right. What was the hardest part of outlining your story?
I think it was just getting the words on the page was hard for me.
Yeah, that can be a real struggle, right? So what did you struggle about, that you couldn't find the right words, or?
Like, I'd have what I want in my mind, but when I go to type it down, I'm just like, what was I supposed to do again?
Oh, yeah, kind of a little block.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that can be challenging for sure. So you have Mrs. Fouts as your teacher, or Miss Fouts, I'm sorry. Were there any steps she gave you to make writing easier, or make even outlining your story easier?
I think it was we don't have to do the whole world building for each chapter. We could like do sticky notes, because those world buildings is just like
World buildings? Okay.
Or like our
show me.
chapter outline. Let me see.
Madison.
So these are the world building sheets for each story.
Okay.
And there's research, there's world building, there's chapter key elements. She said if those are like extra work and don't feel like they're helping, we don't have to do them. It's helped me a lot not doing them, because it makes me feel like I don't have an extra load on me.
Yeah. And so she said you could just like add sticky notes to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So tell me how each of you approached writing your first chapter. Like, did you feel very confident jumping in after having it outlined, or after you outlined it and you sat down to type it up, you were like, oh, I don't know what to do?
That's how it was.
That's how you were. What about you?
I like typed the first 3 words and then I know what else to type.
Yeah, but I feel like for you, it's been pretty easy when you have inspiration. You just sit down and type up a paragraph or two, and then you leave and do other things, and you come back when you have inspiration. I feel like it's been pretty, going pretty quickly. So you have, what chapter are you writing on now? Working on, sorry?
I am done with chapter 6, and I'm about to go on 7.
Chapter 7, and you?
I'm like halfway through chapter 6, maybe.
Okay, and y'all are supposed to have chapter 6 done before you start class again?
Yes,
Which is in like 2 weeks.
It's the week after.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I realize I have more time to write.
Yes, but you should work on getting it done when you have inspiration. That way it's done and you don't have to worry about staying up late Monday night to finish it before class on Tuesday.
True.
Yes. Building momentum. Okay, so what's been your favorite chapter to write so far and why?
I think it would be chapter 6 for me because I don't feel like I'm rushing it as much as I felt with the other chapters.
Yeah.
I feel like the more I've got into it and the more books I have with a lot of detail helps me add more detail but not make it to where it feels like I'm info dumping.
Okay, so like you mean reading more novels has helped you, it has inspired you with ideas to add more detail to your novel?
Yes. Right.
Okay, yeah. So how many pages does your book have to be?
24 at least.
At least 24 pages? Okay.
To be published.
To be published. And then how many chapters can you have?
12.
Only 12.
Only 12.
But as many pages as you want in each chapter.
Yes.
Okay. About how many pages per chapter are you writing?
4.
2 or 3.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, if you wanted to do just 2 pages per chapter, that would be as many pages as you would need.
Yes.
But if you want to do more, that's cool because it adds more detail to it. I like that. Okay, so tell me about any times that you've had writer's block and how Miss Fouts' class has helped you.
I have writer's block almost every chapter.
What about you?
I've only had writer's block like in the first and maybe 3rd chapter.
Yeah. So what kind of ideas did they give you to help with writer's block?
Set a timer for like 30 minutes or something and see how much writing you can get done. Or like wake up early in the morning and write when you wake up so your brain's fresh.
Yep.
With ideas.
Yeah, they say when you wake up first thing in the morning, that's the best time to like take a test or work on your hardest subject because your brain is fresh and ready for the day. What's been the most surprising thing you've learned when writing a novel? They have you work on external sufferings. Let's see, fell off and, rolls down and scrapes her knee. External. So it gives you different ways to add in suffering into your book. I like that because then you could just look at this if you need something to add in. Let's see. For this exercise, look up these words in the dictionary and write the definition. Additionally, write at least 3 to 4 relevant synonyms for each word. So the words are humiliation, guilt, loss, loneliness, rejection, betrayal. I like this because then you have a list of good words that you can use and synonyms for those words that you can use. So when you're writing a sentence, you're not just saying the same word multiple times, like she struggled to do this and then struggled to do that. You could use a synonym, so that's pretty awesome. What about you, Madison? What's been the most surprising thing you've learned writing a novel?
It's not so easy as I thought it was.
Yeah, you used to think it was super easy?
Like the writers knew what they were doing and they just typed it away and everything was perfect. But it's not like that.
Do you find yourself going back through your chapters and changing things?
I changed things in Google Docs, but I'm not so sure they're changing from what I submitted. I asked Miss Fouts about it. I haven't looked to see what she said. I asked her how to edit our submitted chapters.
Maddie, she just said edit it in Google Docs.
Right, and then And then at the very end, when you submit everything,
Then you submit your full document.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and they're going to be working extra hard to act as your editors, which I really think is cool. So the Kids Write Novels 180 Days to Save the World is through the publishing program Innovative Learning Press. So they are actually going to take everything that is sent in, this whole book, and all the paperwork will be sent in at the end. And that's why it's important to have as much information as you can. Sticky notes, even if you have to write up at the top or on the edges, is what
I did that once.
Yeah, that's what Sarah
I,
Reed
like-
was saying, the creator of this program. Because then when they are diving in as your editors, they are looking at every detail and trying to get everything perfect for you so that at the end, when the novel is ready to be published through Amazon, then it will be exactly how you envisioned it. And I think that's pretty awesome. Learning specific skills. So how do you feel about writing dialogue?
I have to watch with how many times I put she said or he said, like, instead of just saying he said after something she said. And
Right.
then she's saying something again after him. We could just put that, make a new line thing and just put what she thinks about what he said, and then he not saying she said.
Right. Okay, that's pretty interesting. How did you find it easy or hard to make your character sound natural?
Semi easy.
What about you, Kavis?
Medium.
Yeah, like it was a little challenging. What was challenging about it though?
Thought about how I would say it and just type it like that.
Yeah.
I think.
That's a good idea. So what strategies did you learn from building suspense or excitement in your stories? Like what did your class teach you, your online class teach you to help build suspense?
Adding adding a hook at the end of some chapters.
A hook, yeah, or a cliffhanger. Yeah,
That's
so
what I mean.
how did they tell you to do that?
And like
A really
and they were
interesting part.
surrounded.
An interesting part, yeah.
Yeah.
Like and they were surrounded by the enemy's
Yeah.
blades.
Yeah.
Or something,
and then
end
stop the chapter. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. So tell me this, have either of you noticed your writing skills improving since you started the program?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, in what ways? Can you tell me some detailed ways that you've noticed it improved? So in what ways has your writing improved, do you think?
I feel like I'm a faster typer now.
Yeah, you're faster at typing. What about you, Kaylee? Is your typing still the same?
No, it's really fast.
She's like,
I know, she is really fast. I hear like clack, 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 clack.
I'm just like,
She's like,
She types like daddy.
where's the other word?
This is why we started doing typing.com too, to teach y'all how to type.
I don't like that though.
That's okay. This is good. You're literally practicing typing every time you open Google Docs. So what other ways has your writing improved?
I feel like I could add more detail without feeling like I'm info dumping.
Yeah, adding more detail without info dumping.
And-
What about you? Like, is it easier to come up with scenarios, maybe? Or did you find that very easy? Like, do you feel like this is a full language arts program? You're getting grammar and vocabulary, you're writing, you're spelling.
It helps my spelling and grammar skills.
Yeah, cool. What about you? You feel the same way? Yeah. Okay, so dealing with challenges. What do you do when you feel stuck and aren't sure what to write? Go ahead and repeat what you said, Madison.
I just stop writing and wait until I get inspiration, which
Yeah.
I get from books that I read every night.
Yeah, you are a big reader. What about you, Kaylee? What do you do when you're kind of feeling stuck and not sure where it should go? What's the first thing you do?
I just pause for a moment and think of what should happen next, like a really good thing, and then I just write it down.
Is there anything you do specifically, though, to help give you inspiration? Like, have any of the lessons or the live classes given you tools you need to help, like, push through that? What?
Well, for our chapter 6 lesson, we did this like thing because this is the middle of our chapter.
Right.
And
You mean the middle of your book?
Yeah. And most people and kids get stuck at this point and just give up.
Yeah.
And we all like did this game where we tell what we want to happen, and then the students would raise their hands and give us ideas of like fillers for the chapter.
Oh, so every student gets involved. So what was something you asked, and what was a suggestion somebody gave you? Did you ask anything?
I didn't ask anything.
No.
Did you just help draw inspiration from the fillers that people gave? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you guys give a filler answer to somebody?
Yes. Ma'am.
What was your answer?
My answer to one of them was if this one girl decides to do like a puppy robot, like maybe I can't remember how I worded it.
Okay.
But there's like a chip in it and like a tracker, and the bad guy's like tracking them. I think that's what I said. There was so many.
Yeah.
And I suggested like maybe the bad guy could have been holding hot dogs and the puppies jumped out because of that.
Oh, that's a good one.
And one of the fillers that I got was maybe Troy knows the way to the life source well, I shouldn't say it so I don't ruin the book.
Yeah. But an example how to get to a life source.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Cool.
But my real plan is something different.
I'm excited.
It's along the lines of that, but it's got
Yeah, well, that's good. That's why you draw inspiration from others. That's great. So, how do you two manage editing while you're writing?
Can you explain?
Sure. Like you're typing and there's, let's say, typos, or you accidentally wrote I guess a typo would be the same word twice, or you misspelled something, or you realized you used the same word in the same sentence, so you'll have to edit those things. Like, do you just keep typing until you're done and then go back over it, or do you type and realize it's messed up and then fix it as you go?
I type and then I stop and look and fix it.
So do you type like the whole sentence or a whole paragraph and then go back, or do you just type the whole chapter and then go back?
Like, I write the word and it's wrong, so I instantly click it before I do the other words.
Yeah. And is that something like your teacher on the live class has suggested to you, or it's just something you found naturally?
Found?
Yeah. What about you?
I just like type a paragraph, then look over that paragraph and see what's wrong, and then I like do the whole chapter and then I look over it and see what's wrong.
So you edit one paragraph at a time?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it. I just keep typing so I don't lose my train of thought, and then I go back over everything and edit what I need to edit.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is there anything else you can tell me about the book or the live classes that has really given you great confidence to write this novel?
That I have other kids that are writing the same genre as me that I could ask for inspiration if I get stuck on, or give inspiration to.
Right. So there's not only the discussion board, the live classes once a week, plus they have a private group on Mighty Networks so that you could go in and talk to all of the kids who are in the same grade level as you, not just kids in your class, but kids that are other classes. And you can also talk to some of the authors that help run the program and run the classes, like some of the teachers and stuff. What do you think about that?
It's really cool.
Yeah, that is a pretty great opportunity because, like Sarah Reed, the founder of this program and Innovative Learning Press, I mean, she is an author. She writes middle grade novels, and so being able to have access to someone like that and question her and get ideas and advice, that's pretty amazing. And your teacher, Miss Fouts herself, is actually a novelist.
Yes, ma'am.
And she writes middle grade novels as well, right?
And she just published,
Yeah.
I
A
think
few weeks ago, her first novel came out.
Oh, that's great. That's exciting. And it's on Amazon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's pretty cool. I like that. So, looking back on your very first chapter, what would you change or keep the same if you had to look back on your very first chapter?
I think I'm already going to look back on my first chapter.
Yeah. Are you changing certain things, like a lot or a little?
I think I might change a lot.
Yeah.
Because,
Why?
because I was just like heading into it, I feel like I was rushing it a lot. And then like maybe adding like too much, not too much detail, but I just want to look over it to see what feels off.
Yeah. What about you?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, change a little bit. Like, what would you change? Anything important?
I'm not changing anything that my narrator says because he's funny and it's, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So, how does it feel to be on chapter 6 and done with chapter 6? Like, you're done with halfway of your book. How does that feel?
Good.
Yeah, it feels exciting, maybe? What about you?
It feels good to finally be at the halfway point.
Yeah, that's it. That is exciting. It really is. When you first started, did you think you would get this far? Or did you think you might like quit halfway through?
I thought I would get this far, and I thought I might have to make 2 books, but now I realize 12 chapters is a lot.
Yeah. What about you?
I thought that by like chapter 3 I'd be stuck and wouldn't be able to do the rest.
Yeah, but now you're like done with chapter 6, about to start chapter 7, and chapter 6 isn't even due. So what's been your favorite part about 180 Days to Save the World? This program.
Maybe the live classes.
The live classes, yeah. What about you?
The writing.
The writing. So, like, can you tell me a specific thing about your live classes that you really enjoy?
Well, I like the 5 minutes of fun that we do, and the lessons we have about the thing that we get to like ask questions about if we don't understand.
Yeah. You get to ask questions about the lesson you just had?
So there's different slots, mainly about the same thing we're learning about, but different things about the same thing we're learning about.
Okay. Different categories, maybe?
Yes, I guess. And after each slot, we could ask like questions, like stuff we don't understand.
Can you give me anything specific? Like, what was something you were taught and that you were able to ask a question about?
Well, there's a lot of things, but
Nothing comes to mind. What about you, Kaylee?
oh, I think it was about the blurb, because I had no clue that the blurb was the thing at the back of the book.
Yeah.
I thought the premise was the thing at the back of the book.
The paragraph at the back of the book that
Yes.
tells you. Okay, yeah. Kaylee, you said your favorite thing is the writing. Can you give me anything specific about that?
I don't know.
You're just enjoying it more than you thought?
Yeah.
If you could give advice to another student starting lesson 1, what would it be? It's a good question, huh?
Don't give up even if you feel like you don't have any inspiration for your novel.
Yeah, that's good advice. Anything from you? No? Okay, that's okay. Has this program changed how you feel about writing or storytelling? I love this question.
I think so.
Yeah? Can you be more specific or give us examples how it's changed?
Well, I used to like just throw information, not give a lot of detail about stuff, and now I feel like I'm more aware
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned info dumping. Is that something you've heard in the class before?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you feel like you're just taking your time and able to add more detail to things?
Yes, but without feeling like I'm adding too much detail.
Right. What are you most excited about as you continue working on your novels?
Getting them published.
Getting it published? Okay. Well, is there any more information that you think people should know about the Kids Write Novels program if they're interested in it?
It's really fun. Everyone's super nice and willing to give inspiration.
Yes. Okay. Anything you think people should know? No? Just to dive in and do it. And if you see the Kids Write Novels booth at a great homeschool convention or a homeschool convention in general, stop by and definitely check them out. They also have 180 Days to Save the World for elementary level. This is the middle school level, and then they have it for high school level as well, along with short stories, like how to write short stories, which is really, really cool, I think. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of adults, including myself, has said, are they going to have this for adults? Can adults have this class? Because it's so awesome. And if you don't want to do the live classes, they do have pre-recorded tapes that you can watch. Sorry, tapes. I'm old. Videos you can watch to go along with your novel and, with the curriculum if you don't want to pay for live classes, because depending on how many kids you have, it can get expensive. And the pre-recorded videos are much easier, but you don't have access to ask the teacher questions or access to any other students. You're kind of on your own when it comes to drawing inspiration and getting ideas and asking questions. So if there are any more questions you have about 180 Days to Save the World, middle grade novel, please comment below and let me know if I missed anything. If you want more detail, if you want a better look through of this book, please let me know, and I'm happy to do another video or answer questions in the shorts and let you guys know. Thanks for watching.
Bye.